During the Late Triassic Period, before the reign of the dinosaurs, the ancestors of the crocodilians were small, terrestrial animals. The niche of semi-aquatic ambush predator was instead held by a different group of reptiles called the Phytosaurs. While they may have looked similar to today's crocodilians, the Phytosaurs were actually only distant relatives who independently converged upon a crocodilian-like appearance and lifestyle. Among the largest of the Phytosaurs was Smilosuchus. Smilosuchus is a genus that consists of 3 species: Smilosuchus gregorii, Smilosuchus adamanensis, and Smilosuchus lithodendrorum. They lived in what is now the southwestern United States between 220 to 205 million years ago during the Late Triassic Period. The different species of Smilosuchus varied in size. Smilosuchus adamanensis was about 5 meters long. Smilosuchus gregorii was much larger. Its total body length was at least 7 meters long, and some estimates place it up to 12 meters long. Such a length is longer than many of the later megacrocs like Dinosuchus. However, even if Smilosuchus gregorii was that long, Phytosaurs had proportionately longer tails than crocodilians do. Therefore, it wouldn't have been as deadly as an equally long Dinosuchus. Still, Smilosuchus gregorii was at least far larger than any modern reptile. Though Smilosuchus may have looked, and in many ways acted, similar to crocodilians, there were some key differences besides tail length. Crocodilians have extensive bony plates on their bodies called osteoderms. Phytosaurs also had osteoderms, but theirs were even more extensive. Like other Phytosaurs, Smilosuchus' skull wasn't as wide as those of most crocodilians. While there are crocodilians with thin snouts, Smilosuchus' snout was deeper than these species, and the end was slightly downturned. Additionally, Smilosuchus had a large nasal crest, likely to attract mates. Its nostrils were on these crests, close to its eyes. This is in contrast to crocodilians, whose nostrils are at the end of the snout. The teeth of modern crocodilians are fairly uniform in shape. While this was true for most of Smilosuchus' teeth, the teeth at the front of the jaw were long and tusk-like. While they were part of the same genus, the different species of Smilosuchus held very different niches, or ecological roles. This was due to them splitting up the resources in their environment by specializing to catch different types of prey, which is referred to as niche partitioning. Each of the 3 species of Smilosuchus serve as an example of the 3 basic Phytosaur morphotypes. The snout of Smilosuchus adamanensis is slender and filled with small, conical teeth, placing it in the dolichorostrial morphotype. These Phytosaurs were fish-eating specialists. Modern crocodilians with similar ecologies include the gharial and the slender-snouted crocodiles. It should be noted that these crocodilians do not exclusively eat fish, but also invertebrates and small terrestrial animals. The same was likely also true for the dolichorostrial Phytosaurs like Smilosuchus adamanensis. On the other hand, the teeth of Smilosuchus gregorii are larger and serrated, making them ideal for cutting through flesh. Its skull is also deeper and broader than that of Smilosuchus adamanensis, which would have made it more resistant against struggling prey, and provided space for powerful jaw muscles. Phytosaurs with these traits are called brachiostral. Brachiostral Phytosaurs are generally considered to have specialized in hunting large animals. With its massive size, Smilosuchus gregorii would have been able to hunt the largest animals in its environment. If rauisuchids like Phytosuchus were the Triassic equivalent of the lion, Smilosuchus gregorii was the Triassic equivalent of the Nile crocodile. While Smilosuchus gregorii may have caught its prey in a manner much like the crocodiles of today, it likely used a very different method to kill them. When crocodilians attack large animals, they hold on to them and then drag them into the water to drown. While the conical teeth of crocodilians are well suited for holding onto their prey, its serrated teeth suggest Smilosuchus gregorii dispatched prey in a more direct fashion. Once it grabbed onto its victims with its front, tusk-like teeth, it could then use its serrated teeth to create grievous wounds. Since its main method of dispatching its victims didn't require the water, it is probable that Smilosuchus gregorii also hunted on land. This is supported by its robust femur, which suggests it spent more time on land than most crocodilians do. Finally, Smilosuchus lithodendrorum seems to have been altirostral. Altirostral Phytosaurs were generalists, who were between the two other, more extreme Phytosaur morphotypes. A good modern equivalent is the American crocodile. As powerful as Smilosuchus was, life is not easy for even the deadliest of predators. The limb bones of one Smilosuchus gregorii specimen have numerous paleopathologies. A paleopathology is evidence of disease or injury in a fossilized creature. In the case of the Smilosuchus specimen, its limb bones have extensive signs of osteomyelitis, swelling in the bone. Osteomyelitis can be caused by an injury or an infection that is spread to the bones from elsewhere in the body. Based on its progression, it is thought the Smilosuchus survived for at least a few months and perhaps years with these lesions. Its paleopathologies are more extensive than in any other recorded Phytosaur, or even among their more distant relations from the Triassic period. While a significant discovery, this would have been little comfort for the unfortunate Smilosuchus who had them. Though Smilosuchus may have survived to the very end of the Triassic period, all Phytosaurs perished during the mass extinction between the Triassic and Jurassic periods. However, when it was alive, this single genus showcased a wide amount of diversity within just a few species, including one of the deadliest predators of the Triassic period. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something interesting. Also, I used a new microphone to record the narration for this video, so feedback on whether you think the audio quality has improved from this is appreciated. As always, have a great day, and if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit the like button.